Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Today we actually have a fun kind of conversation. I'll be talking a little bit about a trade I took that ended up being a winner. I will also talk about my plan going into the trade, and I kind of want to show you how my charts look, how it's laid out, what I'm looking for, and I also want to show you a fellow trader. Her name is Tanya Trades, so I'm going to show you guys her YouTube channel. I highly recommend checking her out. She trades ICT concepts and she is live every day, so she is pretty awesome, very chill, definitely worth checking out as well. So let's just get right into work. I'm kind of going to show you the chart layouts, then I'll go over my trade, and then we'll do the fun kind of showing you of Tanya Trades. So let's get started, shall we? Perfect. All right, so this is what my chart looks like. Now I have the 1 hour in the top left corner, the 15-minute on the bottom right corner, I have the 5-minute, and then I have the 1 minute here. This is kind of what I use to trade on because I trade the E-mini S&P, so this is what my chart looks like. I also have a separate tab with just the 1 minute chart open, so I can really dive in on trading the 1 minute and looking for key setups on the 1 minute, but I like to switch it from the 5-minute to the 1 minute time frame. Now this year I'm going to start implementing more DXY. Last year I feel like I kind of slacked a little bit. I wasn't really paying attention to the DXY, but it is important to really pay attention to the DXY because when the DXY is going short, we can expect higher pricing on the ES and the NAS and the Dow. When the DXY is going higher, we can expect shorts on the NAS, the ES, and the Dow. So they basically work opposite. So if the DXY is going higher, the ES is going to go lower. If the DXY is going lower, the ES should go higher. And if they are kind of moving the same way, we can tell that is a risk on situation. So it'll be more short-term trades. But if they are moving the way that they're supposed to, an opposite movement, that is a risk off scenario, and we can expect the market to run better and go for those areas of liquidity that we are reaching for, and is essentially just have longer runs. So I'll show you my DXY chart. Perfect. So this is what my charts look like for the DXY, the NASDAQ, and of course the Dow. Again, I'll have the 1 hour in the top left corner. I'll have the 15-minute on the top, or in the bottom left corner. And then I like to watch the 5-minute as well, just for confluence. I don't usually go down to the 1 minute. This usually just stays at the 5 or 15-minute, but since we have the 15-minute here, we can usually just keep this at the 5-minute. I don't usually watch the DXY on the 1 minute just because it's better for me to look at confluence with higher time frames just to get a better understanding. So 5-minute or higher. Usually I'm looking at the 15-minute time frame though. So when I have all three, the hour, the 15, and the 5-minute, that is more than enough. And that can show us where breaks in market structure are, or sell side liquidity is resting. Like today we traded higher, taking out this buy side liquidity before breaking this swing low here, break a market structure, aiming for this sell side liquidity. So we can see if the market is moving lower on the DXY, the market should be moving higher on the ES and the NASDAQ and such. Again with the Dow, so the Dow is, I find, a lot more energetic when it wants to be. It has a lot more of these like kind of extended runs, and I usually just use it for more confluence, but I would rather pay attention to the DXY and the NASDAQ just because the Dow does like having these sort of runs, but it is definitely the faster pair. So I don't technically like to watch this one as closely as I would with the NASDAQ and the DXY. The NASDAQ, again, we have the 1 hour over here in the top left, the 15-minute on the bottom left, and then the 5-minute again. I won't go down to the 1 minute on any of these pairs. I'm really just looking for confluence when it comes to these pairs because I only trade the ES. So since we're only looking for confluence, I just like to keep it simple and go down to max 5-minute on the NASDAQ. But again, I'm more likely to watch the 15-minute, but the 5-minute is also nice to watch just for like those short-term trades. You get in, you get out. So I really do like watching the 5-minute, but also in confluence with the 15-minute and the 1 hour with all of the trades. Perfect. So let's go back to the ES. I did take a trade this morning. It was a simple, easy setup. I took 7-point profit on this trade. We were just aiming for some London session highs. We actually went for a buy because yesterday I was talking about how I wanted to see those daily lows reached, and it did in fact reach after FOMC. We traded back up into the new week opening gap, and then we came back down into the daily lows, which is what I wanted to see, and then of course the daily fair value gap. So seeing that, taking out that kind of liquidity, and then we had consolidation this morning when we dropped again lower, taking out that low again. I wanted to see the market run for some sort of buy side liquidity before we continue lower or if we go higher. So really short-term trade today, but I was following my plan. I wanted to see this happen and I executed on my plan. So I'm actually pretty happy with the way things worked out today. I will just kind of open one of these. Cool trick. So if you have, let's say, 4 charts open in one tab, you can use this little button right here. It'll maximize that desired chart. So we're just going to be teaching on this one chart to make it simpler. Perfect. So daily time frame. Again, I was talking about this daily fair value gap yesterday and these lows here. I wanted to see the market trade down and take out these lows. They did in fact do that just in the afternoon. So not my trading window, but that's fine. With that being said, we came down into this daily fair value gap, taking out these lows. I wanted to see some sort of kind of push higher, some sort of buy side liquidity taken before trading lower. If we trade lower, we could potentially just continue to go higher. It is NFP tomorrow. This morning too, we did have news at 8:15 and 8:30, and the market didn't do much with that news. So I kind of felt safe to take a trade today. There wasn't crazy news. It didn't move crazy amounts. So I kind of felt okay with taking a trade today, even though it is NFP week and it is a Thursday. I felt okay with taking the trade just because when the news release happened, we didn't move much on the ES for sure. So seeing that, I was like, okay, we'll probably get in a trade today if it presents itself. Overall, I would like to see shorts, but today I was looking for that short-term buy-side liquidity to be taken. Drop down to the 1 hour. Awesome. Another thing I want to start doing actually is start looking at the 4-hour chart, because usually I just do daily, 1 hour, 15-minute, and then 5. Those are my higher time frames, and then 5-minute, 1 minute for entries. But I was thinking I could start looking at the 4-hour too, just to get more perspective on the market. And we can even see yesterday, when we traded down here, we actually left this 4-hour fair value gap open, and the market did trade into that 4-hour fair value gap about the consequent encroachment before trading lower. Yes, it's in confluence with the new week opening gap. Yes, we had some opening range gap to fill, so this could have been a good indicator of, hey, Alicia, we'll probably want to go higher before we go lower, trade it into this imbalance, and then go for sell side liquidity. So seeing that on the 4-hour time frame, I'm like, maybe I should start incorporating 4-hour time frames. So we're gonna try. But other than that, coming into this 4-hour fair value gap, we traded back down, had some sort of consolidation. I wasn't expecting it to go much higher than this, especially since we traded to that new week opening gap, but we do have this in mind. We still have this open here, you know, so there's buy side liquidity that can be reached. But after we took out those daily lows yesterday, we just sort of consolidated. And I'll drop down to the lower time frames now so we can talk more about this morning. Again, we took out that low at like 345, and then we consolidated. And we consolidated through London session too, because yesterday we can see like London session had this nice move. Even the day before, like London session had that nice move, but this morning, the London session didn't move very much. So seeing that, if it was gonna go lower, in my mind, considering we have been going lower during London session, I would have liked to see it go lower. And the fact that we didn't kind of gave me some insight on, hey, we're probably gonna go for some buy side liquidity. So seeing this kind of consolidation, these relative equal lows or relative equal highs, I was like, all right, we're gonna see if we can take out these relative equal highs during my time frame, so 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And that's something I'm trying to learn this year too, is session-based trader. So looking for those kind of short-term runs on liquidity rather than the daily range, because sometimes, as we saw yesterday, when you're going for the daily target, it could happen in the afternoon or at the end of the day. And seeing that happen yesterday kind of gave me more insight into, hey, we're trading our sessions. And because of that, we've seen these really clean relative equal highs, the London session highs. I was like, we're gonna aim for that today if we don't see some sort of displacement below these lows. We did in fact take out these relative equal lows here. At 9:30 a.m. we traded below these relative equal lows, below the yesterday's daily low. So seeing that, I was like, okay. And then the fact that we didn't have much displacement down here gave me an insight to, we're probably gonna go for those relative equal highs. Let's drop down to the 15-minute time frame. Again, taking out these relative equal lows at 9:30 before moving higher, came back down. There is a small 5-minute fair value gap right there. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this morning's price action on the 5-minute time frame, but just know that these London session highs was my drawn liquidity this morning, especially since we traded into the higher time frame objective of the daily lows and the daily fair value gap. And then when we didn't see like more momentum down, I kind of assumed we were gonna go for buy side liquidity. So 5 minutes, perfect. So the 5-minute time frame, again, we have those relative equal highs. We did consolidate a bit. These are the London session highs. We traded down, taking out these lows, relative equal lows down here, taking out this low at 9:30. We then traded higher. We have this break of market structure right here. Came back down, there's this 5-minute fair value gap right here. And then at 10 o'clock, we can see we have some momentum. Now, at 10 o'clock, we can see we're having momentum. If we go to the DXY, at 10 o'clock, we see momentum happening on the DXY as well, breaking that market structure. So now we have confluence between different charts. We have confluence with the DXY and now the ES. So that means it's a risk off scenario and we want to take this trade. So let's go down to the 1-minute time frame. Perfect. Now we're on the 1-minute time frame. My kind of plan was, all right, we traded down into a higher time frame objective. We took out that daily low, we took out those relative equal lows at 9:30. We're in this daily fair value gap. We want to see somewhat of a displacement run, and then we want to see a fair value gap being traded to, and then going in for a buy to hit those London session highs. So I was waiting for displacement to occur. We already had the break of market structure on the 5 minutes. We then see this kind of run right here. We have multiple break of market structures. We couldn't get down. We have this confluence with this 1-minute fair value gap and the 5-minute fair value gap. And then of course another break in market structure. So this right here was my entry, getting in at this 1-minute fair value gap to aim for these London session highs. And yes, the market could have gone higher. It did go higher. You know, it went to about 18 points, but we are looking for those low hanging fruit objectives. And I wanted to see the market trade down into this fair value gap to go for that London session high. And since we're session-based traders, we're not really looking for that daily draw on liquidity, but seeing those relative equal highs, London session highs, we wanted to see those traded too. So when this displacement occurred and this 1-minute fair value gap occurred, I got into the market at 10:03. So it was like a really quick in and out. We had that displacement occurring on the DXY, and we were seeing higher prices on the NASDAQ as well. So seeing that throughout the charts and different pairs, we got in this trade and it worked out in our favor. This is kind of like our A+ setup right here, especially with all the other confluences. And yeah, I'm just super grateful that we were able to enter into this trade and manage to make a profit. Now, let's jump down to YouTube. So this girl is great. She's amazing. Her name is Tanya Trades. She has been doing live sessions for a while now, and if you guys haven't checked her out, I would highly check her out, especially if you trade ICT concepts, because she is also an ICT trader and she really has a lot of good tips. And the more I watch her videos, the more I learn, and I think it's kind of important to branch out too and learn from other different traders as well. As you can see on the side here, I have like Tanya Trades, the Inner Circle Trader, Kimmel Trading, and Words of Wisdom. These guys are all really good traders. This one's more of like a trading podcast. Kimmel Trading's more, he has a lot of good tips as well, and he talks a lot about prop firms, and he's more of a forex trader, whereas Tanya Trades, she actually is a NASDAQ trader, so she trades the NAS and trades futures. Plus ICT has definitely posted about her on his Twitter, and that's kind of where I found her originally. But if you guys haven't had a chance to check her channel out, I'd highly recommend checking it out because she does have a lot of good information as well. And yes, I think that is where I'm gonna leave this video for now. I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got something from this video, leave me a like, leave me a comment. I will reply. I love connecting with you guys. So just let me know, you know, say hi. Perfect. I will see you guys all tomorrow, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and we will talk soon. Bye for now.